Right, we are well on the way to meeting the goals that I set myself for the first season, so we can get started on meeting the second season goals. And the second season goals, well, there's lots of them, more than we can achieve in just one season, so I like to get a head start. By spring, we wanted to have beds for all of our dwarves, we wanted to have all of our stuff brought inside and safe from thieves, and we wanted to have a front door on the base. We've achieved the front door and we've got everything brought inside, and Bernie is busy building the beds and Tammy's busy installing the beds that have been built. So I can make a head start on getting all of the things that I want to be done in the second season, so the second season being summer. And there's a lot that we want to get done in summer. I want to get all of the peacocks in a breeding room. I want to start making barrels. I want to start on the defences. And I want to start the farming. I want to get a dining room built, a trade depot built, and I want our dwarves to be drinking out of goblets. Now for some of those things we're going to need rock. And to get any form of rock we're going to need to dig down. So it's time to start building our permanent base. Because this is just a temporary hole to keep them out of the rain and keep all of the stuff safe. So looking at where to crack the surface, I'm going to dig down from the surface, and I've decided I want to dig down from the not the highest point, but the main surface. We've got more flat surface in the area that we're going to call ours at this level, so I'm going to break through on this level, and I've decided to go for this corner over here. So let's go down and find out where that staircase should be. It's there. To dig a stairs, we want to go to the designation menu. And let's get the cursor to where I want it to be. We'll start that top corner. And we'll just go up to the surface. To break through the surface, we need to dig a down stair. Now there's a couple of things to make sure we've got right. First of all is, are we on standard or marker? We're on standard. First time I ever played Dwarf Fortress, I spent an hour trying to get them to dig a staircase down, and they wouldn't do it. And the reason why they wouldn't do it is because I had it marker only. So make sure it's on standard, and then I want to box select. So Alt M for box select. So downstairs, it's J to dig a downstair. So J, and enter to start at the corner that we want them to dig on. And if we look down, move the cursor to where we want them to finish, and we want downstairs only on the surface. So we'll ask them to dig those downstairs. Now, a downstair will break through a floor, but it won't take you the whole way through. That won't be a fully functional staircase. Staircases are a bit mystifying at first because they're not exactly intuitive. So let's tackle the concept. Stairs can either be mined out of existing material or they can be built into empty space, but we'll stick with mining out the stairs first. So dwarves can carve stairs out of pretty much any solid material, including clay and sand and soil. There are 3 types of stair that you can dig, or 3 types of stair component that you can dig. A down stair component, an up stair component, and an up down stair component. Every staircase needs both an up stair and a down stair to function. The upstair component is like a ladder carved out of the rock between the floor and the ceiling. It's called an upstair because the dwarves carve it upwards from where their feet are. The downstair component is like the hole in the floor that the ladder passes through, and the guardrails and handrails that you'd need to be able to get on and off the ladder. It's called a downstair because the dwarf carves that from his feet downwards. And so far so good. A staircase consists of two parts, a ladder and a hole for the ladder to pass through. The ladder is dug upwards from the dwarf's feet. The hole is dug downwards from the dwarf's feet. And a fully functioning staircase needs a downstair component above an upstair component. So if we were to build an upstair here, like so, then they could successfully navigate from the upper Z layer to the lower Z layer. But we want them to be able to navigate also from this Z layer to that Z layer. So instead of just an upstair, we're going to have an upstair and a downstair at this layer. Now that's the up downstair, which is I. So let's change that to that, which is your up downstair. And in fact, we could get them to dig the up downstairs much further. So let's start there. And we'll go down. Let's see. Yes, I want them to build that layer. Do we want to start bringing some storage down? Maybe. In fact, we definitely want them to hit stone. So I'm going to dig a downstair all the way down to here. Now I'm going to break through the floor because I've got an up downstair. The downstair part of the up downstair is going to break through the floor and is going to expose the rock below. Do I actually want to do that? I probably want to go down to at least this layer. So I'm happy to put an up downstair there, but I won't carry it any further down. Once you reach the bottom where you know that that's as far as you want to dig, then you would cap that off with an upstair. And then that way you don't expose the rock below. That's not terribly important. It's more for aesthetics than anything else. And also, if you know that you have a cavern beneath you, you don't want to use an up down stair and break into the cavern ceiling. You would just use an upstair to connect to your downstairs. Right, that will get our minor dwarves busy. Okay, so we can see this downstair here is flashing. Now he's built that downstair, but we'll let them dig a little bit lower. Okay, we have struck cassiterite. And what's this material here? Chert. Okay, so that's rock. And this is the cassiterite. Okay, but now we have a lump of rock. Alright, and that's as far as I've asked them to dig. The stairs that they have dug are made of the material that they've dug through. So they dug through sandy clay loam, so the staircase is made out of sandy clay loam. They've carved the staircase. And if we head down, we can see that this staircase is made out of yellow sand. This one is made out of chert. Now what if you wanted to remove the stairs? Well, if you have marked stairs out to be dug, like we have here, these are marked out up downstairs. To remove those, it's X for remove designation and just go across them. Now I do actually want those stairs there, so I'll just put them back, marker only. There we go. For stairs that have been dug out, we can remove the up part of an up-down staircase, and we do that by designate Z, and that will remove the upstairs. So if we go, let's see, switch it to standard. There we go. So those stairs are now designated for removing. I don't actually want them to remove those stairs, so I'm going to remove the designation with X. So those stairs stay in place. You can't, strictly speaking, remove a downstair, because a downstair is kind of two-dimensional. All it's doing is cracking through the floor. So if we go right to the surface where we have downstairs, if there was no upstair beneath it, then this is essentially a hole. So let's see how that would look. let's tell them to remove those stairs. I'm not going to let them. So there would now be a space here, a space beneath the downstair, and that downstair now just acts as a hole into the space beneath it. And so the way to remove a downstair, we build a floor on top of it. And to build a floor, we go to build, capital C for construction, F for floor. And we just click it where we want the floor to be, and then select the material that we want the floor made out of. So we'll say chert. And that removes the stair by replacing it with a floor. That only works on downstairs though. So if you have an up down stair that you want to remove, you have to remove the up part of the stair first and then patch up the downstair with a floor. Now that floor, I don't want them to build it, so I'm going to click on it and say X to remove the floor. Now reasons why dwarves might not dig stairs are all the same reasons as to why dwarves might not mine. So you might not have a dwarf that is allocated to mining. Your mining dwarves might be too busy. Your mining dwarves might not have picks. They might not be able to path to the stair. You might have the stair as marker rather than standard. You can tell that because it'll be blue instead of brown. Let's point out how that looks. A downstairs in standard looks like that, whereas a downstair in marker looks like that. So if it's slightly blue, they're not going to dig it. It needs to be brown to dig. And I don't want them digging either of those, so I'm going to go D to X and then remove those designations. They won't dig stairs if the mining dwarves have been allocated to a burrow and the stairs are outside of the burrow. Even if they're right next to the burrow, if they're touching the burrow, the dwarf might be stood inside the burrow, but he won't work on something that is outside of the burrow. And we'll cover burrows in a later episode. Now I'm going to cut forward to a future development in the fortress where we're digging a staircase from the bottom up, and it's going to crack through the surface. The dwarves are really funny about digging downstairs on the surface when they're digging upwards. You can make them do it, but they tend to prefer to run across the surface, but I'll show you that. Let's just fast forward in time a bit. And if we go up to the surface, here comes the miner dwarf to dig the surface one. Now, what you'll notice there is that the dwarf came all the way around the outside to come and dig that downward stair, despite there being another dwarf immediately below. Now, dwarfs can dig this downward stair from underneath, but if they have a way to reach the top of it, if they can dig a downward stair downwards, they'll always prioritise digging a downstair from above over digging it from below, no matter how far they have to walk or how many trolls they've got to go through or ambushes or forgotten beasts. They'll always attempt to go to the top of the stair and dig it down. So if you can restrict their path, if there was no other way for them to dig that stair other than from beneath, they'd do that. Okay, so they've dug as far as I'll allow them to at the moment. Now, because I don't want the dwarves running across the surface to dig that out, what I'm going to do, especially for the minor dwarves, because they have a tendency to get cave adaptation quite quickly, and cave adaptation means that they become ill when they're in the sunlight, and that illness makes them walk very slow. So what I'm going to do is to forbid passage, so the dwarves now can't make their way outside. Right, so now we're going to say we'll toggle that, and we can toggle those as well. So what we should see now is a dwarf who would ordinarily have run across the surface should now come up through the staircase to dig that downstair from beneath. Let's see if he does it. Here we go. Let's follow this dwarf. So it's F for follow. There we go. So digging staircases, once you are familiar with the concept that you need a downstair to crack through a surface, to crack through a floor, and an up-down stair to make a continuous staircase, you pretty much got it on digging. Now if I was to try and dig an up-down staircase on the surface, let's say we go from there to there, it won't do it. That's because we're trying to dig the up part of the up-down staircase into thin air. They can't carve thin air into a staircase. So we can only dig downstairs at this point through the surface. So if we want to go up, we need to construct the staircase rather than dig it. And I'll cut forwards to a little bit later on in the development of the fortress, where we actually want to start building a staircase above the surface. Now we're happily building some walls around the edge of the island at the moment to protect our dwarves and our animals from any ranged assault from the side of the trench. Now to get up to this level where we need to build the ceiling, we're going to need some stairs to get up there, but we can't carve the stairs. We need to build stairs. There's nothing for them to carve stairs into. So that's a type of construction. So we go build, Shift C for construction, and we build an upstair. Now if you try and build an upstair on top of a constructive floor, nothing will happen. It'll say choose your first corner, then it'll say choose your second corner. Click again, it'll say first corner, second corner, first corner, second corner. Nothing's happening. That's because you can't build an upstair on top of a floor. I think I'm going to put it right in this corner here. So first corner there, second corner there, and we will build that out of chert blocks. Okay, so underneath there is our upstair waiting to be built. Now the upstair will take us to the height of this wall, but it won't actually take us all the way to the ceiling level. So what we need above it is a downstair going down. But if we try and build that now, downstair is D. We'll get the first corner, second corner thing going on. That's because they can't access that tile to build it. So we'll have to wait until they've built the upstair before we can build the downstair. So let's let them build the staircase up there. Okay, the staircase has been built. But yes, now that there's a staircase up, we can get the staircase down built. So down staircase is D for what? It's D when you build it and J when you dig it. There we go. So now it allows us to build that staircase. Chert blocks. There we go. Now let's have a look at removing staircases. If you have a plan in place and you want to remove it, then it's X to remove the plan. However, if you have a staircase that has been built and you want to remove it, then it's go to designations, and we want to remove upstairs or ramps. So that's Z. And double clicking on that will highlight that stair for removal, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go designation and X to remove designation. There we go. Cancellation. We've cancelled the cancellation. If we wanted to build an up-down stair, say we wanted to go more than one story, and we knew we were going to want to put a further upstair, then we could actually do an up-down stair there. And you can only construct up-down stairs one piece at a time, one layer at a time. Okay, so now that we have the downstair built there, let's get some ceiling put in place.